Here's something I hear all the time, in consultations, in comment sections, in messages that land in my inbox at 2 in the morning from men who can't sleep. She takes and takes and takes. My time, my money, my energy, my attention, and what do I get back? Nothing. These men are angry, frustrated, exhausted. They feel like walking ATMs, like their only value is what they provide. And they all ask the same question. Why do women do this? Why do they take advantage? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The answer isn't what you think. It's not because women are greedy. It's not because women are manipulative. It's not even really about women at all. It's about you. One specific behavior you keep repeating. One pattern that creates this entire dynamic. And if you stop doing this one thing, your relationships would change almost immediately. You keep giving. You give when you should stop. You give when every signal says stop. You give when your gut is screaming, stop. And then you're shocked when someone keeps taking. You need to understand something basic about human psychology. People take what is offered. That's not evil. That's not manipulation. That's just how humans work. If I leave a $100 bill on a park bench and walk away, someone will take it. I don't get to come back later and say I was robbed. Nobody stole anything. I made it available. And that's exactly what you're doing in your relationships. You're leaving $100 bills all over the park bench of your life. Time, money, energy, attention. And then you're furious when they disappear. Now let me be clear. Some people do exploit intentionally. That exists. But in most cases, she isn't plotting. She isn't scheming. She's just responding normally to what you're offering. Think of it like a buffet. Unlimited food. No restrictions. No limits. People eat more than they normally would. Not because they're bad people, but because the structure encourages it. You built the buffet, and then you're shocked someone ate. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you add another dish. Every time you give money you can't afford, another dish. Every time you cancel your plans to accommodate hers, another dish. Every time you tolerate disrespect because you're afraid of conflict, another dish. And then you stand there asking, how could she? Now here's where it gets interesting. Why do you keep giving? It's not generosity. Generosity has boundaries. What you're doing is fear management. You're giving to avoid discomfort, to avoid her disappointment, her anger, her withdrawal, her tears. Your brain runs the same simulation every time. You see her reaction, you feel the tension, and your nervous system screams, avoid this. So you give. Relief follows. Crisis averted. But you've just taught her something. You've taught her that pressure works, that your boundaries are negotiable, that if she applies the right emotion, you fold. That's conditioning, basic psychology. She doesn't need to plan. She just repeats what worked before. And now you feel exploited. Not because she's evil, but because the system you built works exactly as designed. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you let her be disappointed? Not because you did something wrong, but because you said no. When was the last time you didn't rush to fix her feelings? If you can't remember, that's the problem. Here's the truth that frees men. You are not responsible for managing her emotions. Her disappointment is not your crisis. Her frustration is not your failure. Adults experience disappointment. That's life. And shielding her from it isn't love. It's fear wearing a costume. That fear usually comes from one place: scarcity. The belief that this is your only option, that if she leaves, you're done, that being alone would mean failure. And when you operate from scarcity, you negotiate from weakness. You give more than you should. You tolerate what you shouldn't. You accept deals that drain you. And here's the irony. That desperation makes you less attractive. A man who gives from fear feels different. Women sense it, and it shifts the power dynamic. The man who doesn't get taken advantage of isn't colder. He's grounded. He has options. He gives from choice, not fear. So ask yourself honestly, do you have options? A solid career, a social life, physical confidence, a life that still works without this relationship? If not, that's the real work. When your life is full, the relationship becomes an addition, not the foundation. And from that position, you give differently. Your generosity becomes valuable again. Here's the hard part. When you start setting boundaries, there will be resistance. She'll test, push, escalate. This moment decides everything. If you hold the boundary, the dynamic shifts. If you fold, the boundary dies. And here's the paradox. When men stop overgiving, respect usually increases. Attraction often increases.
Not because you became harsh, but because you became solid.
Some women will leave when the buffet closes. Let them. A woman who only stays for unlimited resources isn't a partner. She's a dependent. Losing that isn't loss, it's clarity. You cannot buy love. You cannot sacrifice your way into being valued. The deeper work is internal. Unlearning the belief that your worth equals what you provide. That belief creates the behavior. The behavior creates the dynamic. Change the belief, the system changes. So, here's the summary. Women don't take advantage of you because women are evil. They take advantage because you allow it, because you fear discomfort more than depletion, because you have scarcity mentality, because you trained pressure to work. The solution isn't finding a different woman. The solution is becoming a different man. A man with boundaries, with options, with self-respect. That man doesn't get exploited, not because the world changes, but because he stops building buffets for people who never planned to stop eating. Stop feeding the buffet, start valuing what's yours, and watch everything change.